Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the greatest Trump buffoon of all? It is Thursday, December the 11th. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning. This is an American aircraft carrier. It has been the dominant symbol of American naval power since the end of World War II. But when that war began, it was the battleship that was the monarch of the seas. Life magazine went out on patrol with the U.S. Navy during war games in 1940. Look at these pictures. That's the battleship Arizona. It's maneuvering against an unnamed enemy in the magazine, getting ready, pretending to fight a war not yet begun, but everybody knew was coming. That was inevitable. Life magazine shows another picture. The Secretary of the Navy, Frank Knox. Secretary Knox is addressing the officers and an admiral in the boardroom of the cruiser Indianapolis. What will become of the Indianapolis? That photo shows a present. We know that it's the Indianapolis that delivers the atomic bomb to Tinian and then is sunk by a Japanese submarine in the last days of the war. And more than 700 Indianapolis sailors are devoured by sharks in the water. We know that Champagne Pete, the so-called Secretary of War Crimes, the most addled defense secretary in history, when you watch this video, understand something. There is no Department of War legally. There is no Secretary of War. He might as well call himself Weasel, Kangaroo, Field Marshal.
The future of American warfare is here, and it's spelled AI. As technologies advance, so do our adversaries. But here at the War Department, we are not sitting idly by. Under the leadership of President Trump, America will lead the charge on this technological transformation by revolutionizing the way we win. And that's why today we are unleashing GenAI.mil. This platform puts the world's most powerful frontier AI models, starting with Google Gemini, directly into the hands of every American warrior. At the click of a button, AI models on GenAI can be utilized to conduct deep research, format documents, and even analyze video or imagery at unprecedented speed.
Lethal, 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 lethal. Man, oh man, is the American serviceman and woman in big trouble. If you're a member of a military family, that fool is the face of the man that's going to get your loved one killed potentially. What a buffoon he is. Now, let's get back to the aircraft carrier. Pete Hegseth's a killer, if you haven't heard. He's obliterating speedboats without evidence, on his word alone, in the Southern Caribbean, and apparently on his orders, he killed the survivors clinging to a shipwreck, which of course erases our moral standing when a hypersonic missile slams into an American aircraft carrier, splitting it in half, sinking it in minutes, killing thousands in an instant, and leaving thousands surviving on the water. Do the Chinese get to obliterate them with a second strike with a weapon the United States doesn't possess? Pete Hegseth says yes. And under the MAGA America First, Pete Hegseth Make America Actually Weak plan and get American sailors and Marines killed in the Pacific plan, the Trump administration has approved the sale of a Nvidia chip that is 20 times more powerful than any other computer chip, which they will use to put into weapons, again, the United States doesn't possess, that take away the ability of the weapon, the aircraft carrier, and its supporting elements, the carrier battle group, from being able to do the things that are required to preserve American power in the Pacific, which mainly is to be able to go to sea. Because these carriers will not be hidden. Everybody knows where everybody's aircraft carriers are all the time. And the hypersonic missile that can sink the fleet, the Chinese have in abundance. I wrote this 2 days ago. And then lo and behold, in the Telegraph, reporting on a classified war game, it turns out the U.S. Navy loses the Pacific battle and thus the Pacific War against the world's dominant navy by size, the Chinese Navy. And anybody who knows anything about naval power knows size matters. It may not to little Marco, but it does in history. And so the United States, as was the case before World War II, is prepared not for the next war, but for the last war. The Defense Department is a Goliath, a behemoth.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals.
The announcement you're seeing is proof of what Eisenhower warned about. The military-industrial complex come to full life. And the buffoon looking into the camera, the immoral man whose first priority was to build a makeup room for the Fox News set in the Pentagon, wants you to believe that gadgets will keep the American soldier, sailor, airman, and Marine safe, and it's a lie. He is reckless. In the last 72 hours, Donald Trump has threatened to go to war in Venezuela, in Colombia, and in Mexico. All countries that are mountainous, with jungles and vast urban populations. Donald Trump is crazy. Pete Hegseth is incompetent. And the American soldier, sailor, airman, and Marine is terribly led by the ultimate blue falcon that has ever been proximate to an American soldier. Pete Hegseth, Champagne Pete, the Christian nationalist doofus with third wife Jenny at his side, patrolling and prowling the hallways of the Pentagon, issuing polygraphs like a latter-day Captain Queeg hunting the strawberries. What an embarrassment to the United States. What an embarrassment to the Army, to the Navy, to the Marine Corps, all celebrating their 250th anniversaries this year. What a clown Pete Hegseth is. And that is The Warning. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning. I invite you to join this community where I promise to be honest, blunt, and direct about what is happening in this country. America is in crisis. Follow and subscribe to this channel and on Substack. Thank you.